More on this historic summit. Let's cross live to Stuart, who's standing by in Singapore for us. I mean, Stuart, what are the reactions to this summit, which was by all means pretty short, but seemed to go off quite well?
It seemed to go off quite well, yeah, you're right, Rochelle, but already people starting to ask questions, I would say, about the actual wording of what has been agreed to. Of course, before this summit took place, the US had very much saying that it wanted to see some kind of declaration which would put an end or put a stop to nuclear weapons on the Korean Peninsula, and that stop for good. Well, what this commits to, and the wording we've seen, is just working towards a complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, which obviously isn't the same thing, doesn't necessarily include any checks and boundaries. A lot of people as well starting to point out, in fact, that North Korea and the US met back in 1993, and they signed a declaration back then. I can read just part of it to you, a joint statement. It said, "We agree assurances in principle against the threat and use of force, including nuclear weapons." Has much changed in 25 years? People are beginning to ask, because those statements do sound very, very, very similar. Despite all the hype, is there really much substance to what's been signed here in Singapore today?
I mean, Stuart, we saw images of Kim Jong receiving something of a rock star welcome, posing for selfies. Is Singapore still buzzing off the back of this summit?
It certainly has been, and that happened in the hotel area just to the left of where I'm standing here in Singapore. I suppose today, to a certain extent, we're here in Marina Bay, which is the heart of the central area of Singapore. You can see, of course, the great big office blocks behind me. People are going about their daily business. There have been joggers and cyclists just carrying on as normal. But yes, you're right, there is a certain buzz about the place. There are journalists everywhere, people taking and stopping photographs. Obviously, the Singaporeans very proud. They've said they're very proud to be hosting this summit here today, which they hope, some kind of lasting peace and afterthought will come from, not just a declaration that doesn't really mean anything. And they're hoping, of course, that some of the other areas that the communique covers, for example, joint efforts to build a lasting and stable peace, will be what this conference and summit that's been held here today is what will be remembered today here in Singapore.
OK, Stuart Norval for us in Singapore. Thank you.